Just in case you don't know, now you know. Istv, Intercontinental Sport TV, back again on Friday. Thank God it's Friday. People, thank God it's Friday. This is Intercontinental Sports TV. You know what? It's game week 29. It is what it is. I think it's going to be 10 more games going. English Premier League, people. Here today, they've done in the building. Also the crew. Istv crew in the building as well. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, Shaya is here. Okwe is here. Robbie is also here. Yes, we got to do what we got to do. It's all about this round leather game. We got so much to discuss about the combined 11. The game between Manchester City versus Eleregbe Liverpool. Irate is going to come here boasting, saying they get this in the kitty, 3 points to Liverpool. I'm telling you, Manchester City. All right. Please find the like on the video if you're watching this for the first time. This is Intercontinental Sport TV. The Don, the host, is also in the building. I'm talking about myself on this channel, on this station. When it rains, it pours heavily. Let me welcome this great man. Robbie is his name. All the way far away from Nigeria. Robbie, you are live. Can you hear me? Loud and clear. Robbie, talk to me. Robbie, can you hear me? The lost connection again. What's going on, people? Okwe, can you hear me? Okwe's in the building.
Yo, the Don, I can hear you. Thank God it's Friday. I'm happy to be on the Friday preview show, pardon me. I'm happy because Premier League football is coming back. Double game week ahead. You know, I'm excited. The best league in the world is back. And you know, yes. I'm supporting the best team in England right now. And I'm ready to ride all the way to the final.
Be careful, this man. Be careful.
Don't choke. Come to terms with reality.
All right, let me welcome this great man as well too. He's here live and direct. All right, I'm going this way with this same man. Shayo Midiora in the building. Shayo, talk to me. Are you ready?
Yeah, good evening, Don. Good evening to everyone on the show. This evening. It's great to be back. I think after what we saw during the international break, I'm happy to welcome back club football. So I can't wait for this weekend to get going because we start with a really huge one tomorrow with Man City hosting Liverpool. So yeah, let's get cracking.
All right, let's get cracking. Also, I'm going to welcome this man. His name is Prof. It's Prof supporting Chelsea. Is here. He's going to tell us. It's going to be emotional today. I'm sure it's going to be very emotional because Chelsea in the mud right now, still in 10th position. I think they're still in 10. Okay, Chelsea, please help me check the league table. Somebody help me.
I thought you would ask Shea for that.
oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to ask him. Let me welcome Prof. Prof, what's going on, bro? Talk to me, Prof. You're live.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I'm good to be back on the show.
Yeah.
A lot to talk about football this weekend. Club football is back after the break. And now no more international breaks in the season. So it's time to see who will be the eventual winners and losers of the season.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be here to talk football.
All right, you're welcome to talk football, people. I'm also going to welcome Robbie. I'm sure Robbie should be back by now. He's a Manchester United fan. Robbie, talk to me. You're welcome to the show. Manchester United playing this weekend with Newcastle, all the way to Newcastle. Robbie, can you hear me loud and clear? Talk to me, bro. None again. Robbie, what's going on outside? Welcome, Welcome in Irate, Liverpool, traveling all the way to Etihad City. I'm talking about Manchester City. I'm sure your heart is doing gee. But you're always doing it. You're always doing it at Etihad Stadium. No doubt about it. So you're welcome to the show, Ire. What's going on, bro? You're scared?
Thank you. It's good to be here. I'm scared, honestly, because you said we're always doing it. We don't do anything at Etihad. We've not won there since Pep.
Yeah.
Since Pep came to the Premier League, so we have a wretched record at the Etihad. So I'm not having high hopes going there tomorrow.
Oh my goodness!
But it's good to be here. Good to talk about football. After the international break, looking forward to it. We are at the business end of the season where we have the last run of 11 games. There's no more joke. Breaks. No jokes anymore. So
at this time,
this is the time to end the money.
Yeah. Absolutely, you're welcome. Once again, Robbie, can you hear me? Can you hear me loud and clear? Talk to me.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Oh my goodness, you're welcome to the show. I can hear you loud and clear. Talk to me, bro. Manchester City.
All right, good evening to you, the dog. Good evening to you, the dog. Good evening to the guys. Good evening to the guys at the house. I think the international break has robbed us of this excitement. So it's good to be back. Where we have the full house, and of course, I trust that Prof and AEs will be back to their old bickering once again, and of course, it will just light up the whole place. But I think for Liverpool and Manchester City, that is one very tough fixture this weekend. United also in action, but I think for Liverpool and Man City, they will ultimately set the tone of what we're going to see this weekend. So all the very best to them, and of course, all my Arsenal fans have been pinging me, telling me they want Liverpool to get the job done against Man City tomorrow. So the question is, can Liverpool do Arsenal a big favor tomorrow? That is the question.
That's the question. I tell you, that's the question. But we are going to get into this. We are on game week 29 fixtures. Is getting heated up, and as I've Prof said, Isaiah said that we are to the end of the season right now, where we're going to have non-stop football. It's going to be massive. Let's get into this quickly. I want to ask a question, Irate. How do you feel about these internationals? How is it affecting the flow of the game? How do you see the internationals? I mean,
of course, for us that we are from a country where
we had an argument. Me and you, we had an argument or discussion about it. I mean, if I don't want to play for the international, I mean, I don't want to play for I want to go and rest. We are having an argument. Please share your thoughts about this.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like some teams, in order to disrupt the flow of the momentum of some teams, they stop their star names from participating for their countries in these qualifiers. Yeah. And I won't be surprised to see Haaland and Rashford playing this weekend. It's not the first time it's happening. But for me, I think it's not good. It's a shame, honestly, for you not to release players to participate for their national teams. A lot of players want to, with their nationality, they like to wear the colors of their team. So, but we've seen it several times. Players are being called up, and all of a sudden you hear, oh, it's a minor injury, they've pulled out, but the weekend after they are back miraculously. So I was just saying, I think FIFA needs to, curb it and probably find these teams that stop their players from representing their nations. They need to find them. That's just my take on that.
Prof, do you have any opinion on that? What's your thoughts on this internationals? If I don't want to play, I don't want to play. I want to rest.
Yeah. Well, you say the players should say they want to rest. They don't want to play for international.
Yeah, if I don't want. Yeah. Yes.
No. I don't think that's right. I mean, I think every football player's pride is to wear their country's jersey. Represent your country where you're coming from. I don't think there's any football player that wouldn't like to, show his patriotism to his country and help them out. So, for me, I don't. For the Haaland and Rashford issue, I think they must have had slight injuries. I think I don't see them as players. These are top. I don't see them as players that would not want to represent their country because of club commitments. They get paid by the country. They're not playing for free for their country. And Rashford earned all sorts of international accolades. So you cannot, because of club commitments, not go and participate. I think they must have sustained minor injuries, which would have been blown out of proportion. Can you hear me? Which
Yeah.
would have gone
Yeah.
worse. Which would have gotten worse if they possibly, partook in the international game. So maybe that's why they had rest. But basically, I think
But
that's
but
it.
prof, but prof, how can a player who played the game before the international break, he didn't have any injury in that game, and
Yes.
obviously after that game, players go on to their national teams to start training for the international fixtures.
Hmm.
So why are you telling us after that game nothing happened? 2 days after he has been called up, then he has an
Are you
injury,
Haaland?
and they say it's a slight injury that can prevent him from that weekend, but not the following weekend. I mean,
But yeah,
there's
I mean,
something
it
shady
takes
about it.
if it's a slight injury. Look at Rich James, for example. If they don't partake in the international break in international games,
Hmm.
it gives them 2 weeks. 2 weeks is a lot of time to recover from a knock, from a slight injury. But then if you go ahead to play them while they have a knock, you
Hmm.
can be blown out of proportion. It could get worse. So they are taking preventive measures to avoid injury. And you said it, we are at the business end of the season. It's not worth risking. International games, not worth risking those little knocks that you hear. These players and going out of the international games for. It's not worth risking. So I don't think they would. There's a plan between the football managers, the football club managers, and the players to
Yeah.
just finally not play for their national teams. I don't think that's the case here.
All right, let's get into this fixtures this weekend on Saturday, tomorrow, April Fool. I want to know the club that is going to be fooling themselves to this weekend. I'm sure Liverpool is. Oh yeah, they're traveling. The first game is going to be a match between Manchester City versus Liverpool. We're coming to the combined 11. We want to do some analysis. It's been a while that we did that, and also Arsenal will welcoming Leeds United. I'm scared about that match. Okay, are you not scared? Okay, can you hear me?
Why would I be scared, please?
Okay. If you are not scared, let's move on. Let's move on. Then also,
They done it.
it's okay. It's okay. I just want to know where you are. I don't know.
Of
So
course, I'm
now
not scared.
all right. Also, the third game of this weekend is going to be between Bournemouth, welcoming Fulham, and also Brighton as well. Can you imagine Brighton also flying, also welcoming Brentford, and Crystal Palace will also be welcoming Leicester City. Also, Wolves Wanderers will be traveling all the way to Nottingham Forest. Likewise, Chelsea. The last game of Saturday is going to be Chelsea welcoming Aston Villa. That's another going to be a cracking game, no doubt about it. West Ham on Sunday will be welcoming Southampton, and the best club in the world, I'm talking about Manchester United, will be traveling all the way. I thought somebody's going to say no, hell no. Okay, you all accept. Okay, Manchester United, the best team in the world, will be traveling all the way to Newcastle.
That's a funny joke.
I know, and I know Arsenal fan will say something. I know that. And Arsenal fan will say something about it. So it's going to be a fantastic, all run of games throughout this week. In fact, next week, let me show you guys. Next week is going to be it's on Monday. We have Everton. That's another cracking game as well on Monday. And also on Tuesday, the same thing is going to happen. Bournemouth versus Brighton, Leeds versus Nottingham Forest, Leicester City, and so on and so forth. Another cracking game for Chelsea again. Chelsea will be welcoming Liverpool. That will be another huge game. Likewise, the best team in England, Manchester United, will be playing Brentford. And also the last game of the week is going to be West Ham, Newcastle. So, guys, we're going to start from Manchester City. I'm going to start with you, Okwe. Okwe, you're an Arsenal fan. What do you see about this game, Manchester City versus Liverpool? What's your take on these fixtures? We are going to delve into it, and before we move into it, but I just want to have your own clue about, what's your thoughts about this game? Over to you, Okwe.
Yeah, well, first of all, in recent years, since Jurgen Klopp, since we've had both Jurgen Klopp and Pep in the Premier League, this fixture has been one of the most exciting fixtures that the Premier League has to offer. And it's even transcended beyond the Premier League. We had a good point in the 2017-2018 Premier League season where both of them went head-to-head in the Champions League. And, they battled it out in other cup competitions as well. to crown who the best in England is. And Manchester City had that advantage over them. But in 2020, Liverpool was able to get that Premier League title, their first title in 30 years. And then it's just been a very, very healthy rivalry, and we've loved it. Both of them have set the standard for the
I
Premier
tell
League.
you, I
You
tell
know,
you.
in the last 5 years, every team has been chasing Liverpool. Every team has been chasing Manchester City. They've been playing brilliant football, and just like I said before, they've set the standard. However, this season is different. Both teams, in my own opinion, are not in their best element. Yes, Haaland is scoring goals. Yes, Manchester City are second, but this is not the best type of football that I have seen from a Manchester City side. They've struggled with form, and Pep has struggled to find the best formula that works for having this goal machine Erling Haaland in his team. And going into this fixture, there are doubts about Haaland starting. We'll find out tomorrow if he's going to start or not. With Liverpool, they are very, very weak in the midfield. The midfield is a big problem for Liverpool. There's no Thiago Silva. Rather, there's no Thiago Alcantara. Fabinho has not been in the best vein of form. Naby Keita has been injured on and off as well. You've got Oxley Chamberlain back, but he's not back to where he's meant to be. And very, very sad, Bajetic is out for the rest of the season. That is a huge blow,
Imagine a
that
huge
Liverpool
one.
midfield, because that young boy revived the Liverpool midfield, and he has been a major reason why Liverpool have been playing much better football in the second half of the season. So, however, it's going to be a tough fixture. I expect loads of goals in this game, and sadly, I feel that Manchester City would have what it takes to take it over the line. But you know what? Don't count out this Liverpool side. They're full of surprises. They know what it takes to face the big dogs, and they can definitely grind out a victory. But I'll give a victory to Manchester City.
All right, giving the victory to Manchester City, and I'm sure Irate is have another opinion to that. So, well, Irate, I want to welcome you into this show once again about this game. Going into this game, tell us what's going on in the camp of Liverpool. As a Liverpool fan, tell us the injury or the best lineup you be, expecting club to make, and Irate, over to you.
Yeah, for this game, like Okwe said, Basetic is out for the season. Thiago Alcantara is still out. Luis Diaz is back training, so he'll probably be on the bench. So aside those injury news or players returning back, I don't think we have any other injury issues at all going into this game. Also, for this game, it's a very important game because this week we'll be facing Man City, Chelsea, and Arsenal in the
Yeah,
space of I think
in the
8 or
space of
yeah. So it's a very important week for Liverpool and a week that can define or decide if we'll be in the top four race. So importantly, we need to
Ebami,
pick up.
you are still
Yeah,
you are still
we need to pick up at least 6 points from these 3 games. And what I'll say is, yeah, those games are quite tough games, given that Liverpool are not in the best of form. Like Okpe said, Man City are not in the best of form, but they still play way better than Liverpool, and they are playing at home. So this is all for Man City to pick up 3 points, if you ask me. I mean, I was having this discussion and said the best Liverpool side, the Liverpool side that won the Champions League, that won the Premier League, that almost won the quadruple, very good Liverpool sides, have not won at Etihad since Pep came. And those are very good Liverpool sides. The best we've gotten there is a draw.
wow.
So I don't see how this Liverpool side that is faltering would get a result at the Etihad Stadium. It's going to be a miracle. Also, we won the first leg at Anfield earlier this season. I'm very sure that is still on the players' mind. So there's a lot of reasons for Man City to take this game by the scruff of the neck. I think the best case scenario, given Liverpool's all tomorrow, I think the best case we can get is a draw, and then we can look forward to the game against Chelsea and the game at home against Arsenal. So I think those games for me are, the games where we'll probably be able to pick up better points than the game against Man City. But it's football; anything can happen. But I'm not putting hopes on that game tomorrow to get a result at all.
All right. Prof, you indicated to me that you wanted to something about
Yes,
it.
I know. I know Liverpool, Man City is a big game, but for me, yeah, and it's always a big game. But for me, the significance of that game tomorrow is the title. It's the title race. I'm not looking at Liverpool in that fixture at all. It's a fixture for me that if City, I mean, I've been waxing lyrical about Man City, to be honest, about them chasing Arsenal down to the wire. But for me tomorrow, if Man City do not get maximum points, I think Arsenal would go on and win the league. I think it will be over for them tomorrow if they don't get 3 points from Liverpool.
Wow.
So that's how
Wow.
serious it is that game. And Haaland has not played. He has not played. He has not trained. Sorry, but Pep didn't rule him out of the game. So I suspect he might be on the bench. So which is some sort of good news for Man City supporters. But 10 points for me, if they get a draw, 10 points is too much. It's too much for them to meet Arsenal, and so that's how big the game is. It's a game that will determine if City would be able to catch Arsenal or not. So it's going to be a very huge game. Yeah, so I expect it to be a great game. Liverpool also, they are trying to reach for the top four, so
Yeah.
they're also going to bring their A game to the match. It's going to be an interesting one. But if
Yes.
Haaland can start the game, then I suspect that they would go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think Alan is going to start in this game. I just have this. It's like Pep is doing something. He's trying to tell us something. I mean, you could start with the guy might not even start with say 9. Sometimes. Or Robbie, what do you think? Yeah, Robbie.
Well, for my opinion, yes, in as much as I'm looking at what both teams will do tomorrow. I think
Mm,
another angle we really need to focus on is the fact
yeah,
that if Man City loses that game, like Prof said, they should just count themselves out of the title race because I really don't. If I don't even see the host of heaven stopping Arsenal from dancing for the title. But and also,
you
if they
leave
get
that.
a draw in that game, in fact, they should just leave that title as it is because it is Arsenal's to lose. And I really don't see Arsenal losing the next 3 games or 3 games out of the remaining games. I don't see Arsenal losing the game. But this is where I believe the talking point for tomorrow would come from. And we all can guess what that is, and that is the officiating. We can have a good game tomorrow and the whole thing can be ruined by the officiating. So the
Yes.
prayer now is the fact that as we all want to enjoy this game, we are praying and hoping that a referee that is not lazy is on duty, a VAR set of officials that are also not lazy or sleeping while on the system are also available for that game because if those two things are wrong, then we all will probably be in trouble because by Monday we'll be ranting and shouting and looking at missed chances, talking points, and so on and
Yeah.
so forth. Aside that, like you said, Pep can come tomorrow and decide to just turn the whole team around. Yes, the news
Yeah.
about Erling Haaland, it is not certain if he's going to play tomorrow or not. So he can play, he might not play. He didn't play throughout the whole international break because of a knock, because of a groin injury. Sorry. So, and a groin injury is not something that just goes away in 2 weeks. So, I want to believe that story that indeed he is injured, hence why he has not played for Norway, and he's also a doubt for tomorrow. For Liverpool, I don't know. I think with the kind of trouble they have in their midfield, and they have a couple of players back, if not almost back to full strength, I believe Liverpool can spring up a surprise. But the talking point for tomorrow is the fact that can Liverpool do Arsenal more or less the biggest favor in the history of
Yes.
the English Premier League at this point in time. Because if Arsenal can hold that door, if Liverpool can hold that door for Arsenal, it looks like they will be dancing to the title. But if they cannot do that, I will tell you that this whole pressure would practically make one of these two teams capitulate. That is just my own thoughts as regards the game of tomorrow.
All right. As regards the game for tomorrow, let's look at the next fixtures, which is Arsenal. But we're still going to come back with Man City because I want us to do the combined 11. Someone said we should do a combined 11 between Manchester City and Liverpool. But let's look at the next fixtures, which is Arsenal versus Leeds. I have in the studio to welcome is in the studio right now. Leeds is going all the way to the Emirates, Going into this game, is what do you think in your game? Is there any team news before? Is there any team news, or what should we be expecting in the game going forward? Arsenal versus Leeds United.
Yeah, hello everyone. It's good to be on the show. Good to be on the show again. It's been a while. Football is back. International. The league football is back. The past 2 weeks has been so drabby, and watching qualifiers. And last week, it's a pity I missed last week's episode. That was it Monday? Yeah, it was Monday. The last episode that we had. That the show was totally focused on Super Eagles. I had a meeting that day and I got home late, so I couldn't join while in transit. But it's all good. We're here to talk about Arsenal, talk about Leeds also. If you notice, in the first round of fixtures, Leeds United. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
The Gremlins want to take over, but it's a lie.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm back. I'm back. So you could see in the first round of fixtures, the most daunting fixture Arsenal had was against Leeds at Allen Road. That game was a game of two halves because first half Arsenal dominated, and Arsenal could have been 4-0 up in that game, but missed chances and all that. Leeds United came back strong in that second half, and we saw what happened at the end of that game. Towards the end of the game, a red card shown to Gabriel, overturned, penalty miss, a whole lot. Arsenal could have lost that game or possibly drew that game, but it was just lucky that they picked 3 points. And I think at that moment was when Arsenal's momentum was deepening. I think subsequent matches against Southampton was when they drew 1-1 and until they picked themselves up again. But looking at tomorrow's match, 10 games, Arsenal fans, even I heard Arteta talking today that though he tried to play down the pressure, we all know these guys are humans. The pressure will be building right now. And it's just not only on the camp of Arsenal or in the camp of Arsenal. Even Man City themselves, the pressure, though they've been here, they've done it, they've been here before, they understand how it works, but still doesn't take the shine away from Arsenal being tipped to win the title with the remaining 10 games and with the 8-point gap that is already there. So pressure is there, and Arteta downplaying the pressure, trying to, cool the nerves. I'm sure they will be cooling the nerves of the players right now and preparing them for the remaining 10 games. Arsenal fans tag the remaining 10 games as finals, but we know football serves us different in any way we want it. But tomorrow's game, I hope we, with the injury update from Leeds United will be missing the centre back they bought in January. I've forgotten his name. I think the German guy. They will be missing Notto as well. I think he twisted his ankle during the qualifiers for Italy, and also they'll be missing Tyler Adams, the American central midfielder. Three players. But the good thing for them is those players will be returning in the next fixtures, but they won't be playing this. So they have Rodrigo, they have the likes, they have what it takes to trouble Arsenal. Right now, they are fighting for their lives, and games like this are always tricky. And if Arsenal don't come up with their A game, possibly there might be an upset. Concentration shouldn't be on what Man City and Liverpool is playing. So whatever, I know they will be playing shortly after, but the game is poised. Arsenal know what they do. If they can keep to how they have played for the past 28 games, I feel Leeds United shouldn't give us trouble. We're home. Emirates, like we all know, it's turning into a fortress for us. And if the fans can form the 12th man and, urge them on. So the question here is, after the international break, the momentum Arsenal has garnered, winning 6 games on the trot, will they still have it? Is it that they will have to pick themselves up again? That's the beauty about football, and that's the crazy space international international FIFA break puts some of these clubs. But at this point, last season, Partey didn't come back, Tierney didn't come back. We lost a whole lot of our key players. But the difference this time around is most of them came back unscathed. It's only the guys that have had injuries before the international break Tomiyasu likes Tomiyasu. Saliba is a no-no. He's ruled out because they are not trying. They don't want to complicate his injury. They're
Saliba is
trying to
out.
manage. Yeah, Saliba won't be for tomorrow's game. He's out. So Odin definitely will step in. And with that
Mm.
performance, Odin gave against Crystal Palace, I think we need to give him credit. With that performance he put in against Crystal Palace, I think he should be able to put it against Leeds. With all due respect to Leeds, because their strikers, Bamford is not that fast, it's not that pacey. But for Holding to have held Zaha and Edward and also Ayu, and it was really tough for him, but at least he stood up. And I think he has a chance to show what he's made of. An opportunity again. So this time around, we're in a good space. No injury to Partey, so we're in a good space. We'll have all our players, our key players, fundamental players. And one more thing before I step out. We've been here. We've not been here before as a club. I think the last time we were here was 19 years ago, 2004.
What's the bell?
19 years ago. But the good thing is, a whole lot is happening in Arsenal right now. You saw the results for the Arsenal women qualifying into the semi-final of the Champions League. You saw the youth team as well. They're prospering. The male team, the men team too, are doing well. Despite me not being happy, falling out of other competitions, but just maintaining the league. We're in the top position, 8 points afar. So, but the good thing here is the X factor here is Mikel Arteta has been here before, even not as a manager, but as an assistant to Pep Guardiola. In the run-ins, Man City and Liverpool had. So he understands. He knows how to prepare these people. He knows how to prepare these players mentally, which is key. Jesus has been there before in this run-in. Zinchenko as well has been there. So they know. Partey as well had his share when Atletico Madrid, went on to win the La Liga. So at least we have a few players in there that understands the value of the position we are in. And I know with that, we are covered. And I hope we go on these remaining 10 games, starting from tomorrow, beating Leeds and taking each game one after the other.
All right. Thank you so much, Aiz. I'm coming over to you, Sheye. Look at these 3 games. I want you to just summarize everything. I'm going to give you Bournemouth versus Fulham, likewise Brighton versus Brentford, also Crystal Palace, Leicester City. What do you say about those 3 games played at the same time? Nottingham Forest as well too with Wolves. Sheye, over to you.
Yeah, Bournemouth Fulham is actually going to be an interesting one because Fulham are not going to be with I got sent off against Man U in the FA Cup, so he's going to miss this game. Willian is also going to be absent. I haven't been sent off against Man U. And you just feel they won't have the firepower to maybe mount attacks against Bournemouth, a Bournemouth team that can be a bit weak defensively. I believe they have one of the worst defensive records in the Premier League this season. So they can be got at if you actually if you're able to mount decent attacks. But without Mitrovic, I think, and without Willian, they're going to be weakened. Of course, they have Mino Solomon, a player who before the Arsenal game was actually it was scoring goals from impossible angles. But Arsenal were able to just prevent him from mounting any form of danger against them. But now facing Bournemouth, I think they will expect a bit of good performances from him because they without Mitrovic, they will need to mount something against Bournemouth. But still, I'm going to side with Fulham on this one because I feel, given their rather decent to good season, we all thought Marco Silva. I haven't seen how he has fared previously in the Premier League. We all thought this year would be tough for him, but I think they've mostly thrived. So I think Fulham in this game should just about edge it, even without Mitrovic and Willian. Going to the Brighton Brentford game, I think this is actually a match between arguably the neutrals, maybe second teams, because I feel after the team you support, people tend to root for Brighton and also Brentford because seeing how they've actually fared in the Premier League since both teams got promoted, obviously at different times. This game is actually funny enough, it's between two teams that are competing for European spot next season. So it's more or less a 6 pointer for both sides. Brighton, we know the threats they possess with Mitoma down the flanks, and also they have this guy. I think Ethan Ferguson, who has been scoring goals for them as well. So he's a pretty young forward, but still he tends to chip in with his fair share of goals. And as for Brentford, credit to Ivan Toney. I think I stand to be corrected, but I think he's Brentford's first player to ever play for the Three Lions for the England national team, or the first maybe in a very long time to actually play for England national team. So I think he's going to be really buzzing coming back to his club side. He wants to maybe at least carry that momentum of making his England debut against Ukraine on Sunday. He's going to carry that momentum back into league action. But this game is going to be a really really entertaining fixture because both teams are going to go all out to get the results. And going on to the Palace Leicester game, I think this one weirdly Palace are I think in 12th or 13th or in 13th, but looking at how the table actually is, if they don't win this game and the teams around them, teams below them pick up wins, they might find themselves maybe close to the bottom three. Roy Hodgson is back at Crystal Palace. Fans are a bit, I don't know, a bit skeptical, but I think the club recognize where they are. They know that, look, with Roy Hodgson, even though they try to go away from his style, away from his more or less mechanical style, they try to change their approach, bringing in a more quote unquote progressive manager in Patrick Vieira. They recognized that they were in a precarious situation in the Premier League, and they asked if Roy Hodgson was willing to return, and obviously he didn't say no to his to the club that he really loves. So he's back in situ at Selhurst Park. So the question now is, will he be able to get the best out of the fancy attacking players they have right now? Because before, when it was there previously, they tended to have maybe players in their late 20s or early 30s, but now they've reduced the club's average age. The likes of Eberechi, who, to be honest, Roy Hodgson managed previously. They are there. Michael Olise, who Hodgson did not manage. Is now at the club, and also they have the likes of Otton Edward, players who are not really firing on all cylinders. I think they have a goal scoring problem there. So that's something Roy Hodgson will have to solve. I think defensively under Vieira they were a bit. I think they had one of the best defensive records in the bottom half of the table. So their issue has been goal scoring. I think they are still winless in 2023. So they need to start picking up wins because I don't think draws will be enough given how that half of the table is is really competitive, so they need to start picking up wins. So they face Leicester this weekend, the team that I still can't tell whether they are good or they are awful because they tend to fluctuate. They tend to have bad runs, and then they find a way to start picking up wins. And when you think they are already on the right track, they relapse into old habits. So this will be a really interesting game because it's more or less a relegation 6 pointer because both teams are down there, even though their positions might not reflect that they are in the relegation tussle. But I think they are right in the battle. So they will both need to show the best version of themselves because this game can actually decide at least or give the winner of the game momentum going into the last stretch of the season.
All right, let's move on to this game. West Chelsea versus Aston Villa. Prof, for Chelsea game, this game, let me show you where your position. You are still in the position as you are still in number 10 position. I'm sorry about that. We are working on it.
We're also in the Champions League quarterfinal. You never show us that. I don't know where.
Yes. So tell me, what should we be expecting in this game?
The team news. There's some good news. Mason Mount is back, and it could be in contention to feature in the game. Also, N'Golo Kante, the manager has promised that N'Golo Kante would see N'Golo Kante get some minutes on the pitch tomorrow as well. So, Reece James, obviously, I think is fit as well to start. And we still have a couple of injuries with Thiago Silva is still out. Raheem Sterling, I don't think is fit enough to make the game. Yeah. So and Wesley Fofana as well. Wesley Fofana could is too. This game is too soon for him. He picked up an injury against Leicester City. That's why I was subbed off, and it was from his position that we got the goal. The goal came in against us from his position, so it's going to be a huge miss. It's been first class since he came back. It's been very, very solid at the back. Makes us more solid at the back, Wesley Fofana. But against Aston Villa, we've not lost. Aston Villa has not won at Chelsea's house for I think well over 10 games in a long, long time. So Chelsea are clear favorites to win the game. Hopefully, they put on a good performance and get your 3 points. I think Chelsea should get 3 points in that game.
All right, moving on to the Saturday game. That's West Ham Southampton. Newcastle welcoming Manchester United. Robbie, are you still there?
Yes, I am here live and direct.
Robbie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. You help us talk about 2 games on Sunday. That's West Ham welcoming Southampton, while Newcastle also will be welcoming Manchester United. Go for it, bro. Hey, Robbie, can you hear me? I think I lost you.
Okay, let's start with the West Ham Southampton game. This is more or less the because can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So, like I said, for West Ham and league status, I think this is the right time to start going about that business because 3 precious points for both teams on their way from now to the end of the season is more or less like somebody who needs every every ounce of air he or she can breathe in just to survive. So the points are very, very important for David Moyes. I think it has been a disappointing season, even though they are still in the Europa Conference League. It's been a disappointing season. That is at the home front in the EPL that they have been struggling. And I, for one person, I'll tell you, I am very surprised. They have no shortages of world star talent within their ranks. Are we talking about Skamaka? Are we talking about Ben Rama? We have a Declan Rice. You have players are plenty amongst their ranks, and one would just be asking the question: how did they find themselves in the relegation zone? But football as it is, sometimes even mere English cannot explain things as they are for you. So for the 2 of them, this is more or less like the time to get about their business. And I'll tell you that match can be scrappy, that match can be intense because both of them are fighting for their lives. So for that match, I think I will swing the way of West Ham to get something, even if not all 3 points. I will be swinging the way of West Ham to get a maximum point from that game. If we're to talk about the United game, and of course the United against, I'm trying to see who are they playing against. United against Newcastle. This is one game that is a tough fixture for United. Let's not forget the fact that United defeated Newcastle in the finals of the Carabao Cup. And I'm trying to remember the team. Eric Ten Hag's presser, he was complaining about more or less the delay tactics of Newcastle. That is when they find themselves in a favorable position. So this is one thing that United should make sure they avoid, because they will be going into that match without Casemiro, who is still serving his 4-match ban for that not so good tackle in that game against Southampton. So for Eric Ten Hag, he has everything to do in that game. Marcus Rashford, yes, still a doubt if he's going to play or not, but I believe it is more or less a mind game coming from the coach. So I believe that Rashford will play tomorrow. But how is he going to sort out his midfield? That is the question here. Is he going with McFred, or is he going to tweak things a bit? And of course, the fact that Sabitzer also got a knock during international break, so it is still not certain if he will be fit enough to play that match. But ultimately, for United, I don't know. I think they'll be lucky if they get a point from this game. I just don't know why I'm saying this, but I think United will be lucky to get something from this game. So it is more or less going to end in a draw for me, if you ask me. Or if United are not careful, Newcastle actually come into that game with a vengeance because their top four place is actually under severe threat at this moment in time.
Yes, that's what we have for this week. Also, let's quickly look at. I want to go back to the combined 11 before we wrap up the show, and the combined 11 for the match between Manchester City versus Liverpool. Irate, I'm going to start off with you. What is it? Do you confirm the first 11 to play in that match for Liverpool?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much not too far off the first 11 at Bournemouth. I'm expecting Anderson to come in midfield, um, alongside Fabinho and probably Avi Elliott in midfield. Then up front, Gapo, Nunes, and Salah. While at the back, we have Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Alexander Arnold, and Alisson in goal. That's what I'm expecting tomorrow.
But I don't know what I should put here. What player is it? Keita?
Yeah, I think Elliott will start in that position. Avi Elliott.
Elliott.
Sorry, Irish, is Luis Diaz fit enough to play in the game?
I think he will be on the bench. I think he should
but,
make the bench.
Okay, but are you comfortable with this lineup, Irate, going forward with your team?
I mean, this is the best we can offer right now. Fabinho and Trent, in between both of them, have to be one of the probably Liverpool's worst players this season. But unfortunately, we don't have a choice. We have to play both of them. This is what we can bring out for tomorrow. I don't expect to see any surprises or any new players coming in. So there's not much of a choice, honestly. I think this is especially in midfield. He won't use Timberlake, he won't use Keita definitely, and he won't be using Jones. And Thiago is not available, so that's the best we can put out for tomorrow.
Our midfield is too light. Man City will be leaking their lead right now. Yeah, Liverpool's with what if this is what Liverpool is going to put out there tomorrow at the Etihad. Man City will be leaking their lead.
I'm telling you,
they will be roasted.
Okpa, you are too silent for this game. Is it because it's Man City?
Well, for me, I think it's pretty obvious the type of team that we're going to expect. Pep has found, I think, a temporary formula for getting Manchester City the victories. We'll have Jack Grealish on the left, you have Mahrez on the right. I think I'm okay with this formation. This is most likely what we are going to see.
I don't think Mahrez will start. I don't think Mahrez starting.
Midfield. Why do you think Mahrez? Do you think Foden will start ahead of Mahrez?
No,
Foden
I
is
think
not
Bernardo
available.
Silva will. I think Bernardo Silva will start. I think Bernardo Silva will start in place of Mahrez, and I think Akonji will start in place of Walker. Stones will play right back. He's going to use a centre back.
The major change where you can predict for Pep has to be in the defense. Pep always has a different formula defensively.
Yeah, I think using Stones at the right back recently because obviously he's going to be inverted. So I think Stones might play there and Akonji will start with Diaz. I think that's pretty much been his trusted back.
That's true. Sometimes he does
And
that.
then,
So he might not use Walker.
No, I don't think he might, but I don't think he would. He might use him, but I don't think he would.
And
I see him. He might Pep might start Walker tomorrow.
I see him starting Walker as well.
Because of pace, for me, if I were to be Liverpool, if I were in the mind of Jurgen Klopp right now, I'll just set up my team to hit Man City on the counter. Give them possession. I know they will take possession because of the pace. Imagine Nunes, Salah on the wings, Gakpo as well. The pace will be too terrifying for John Stone. I understand why he's using John Stone because it's kind of like when he goes attacking, the formation turns into a back three, so that Stones can serve as a decoy to maintain the defense whenever there is an attack. But I feel you would watch out for the pace, for the pacey guys in Liverpool, Salah, Nunes, and Gakpo. So
I think if you
starting
look at one
Stones
player,
might be a tricky one for
Pep, I think Pep will always start Walker against Liverpool. He's definitely conscious of the pace of Liverpool's attack. So I don't think I think he might want to drop out because if you look at that
Yeah,
back
that's
line without
sensible.
Walker, there's no particularly
Sensible.
fast player that can cope with the pace of Nunes or Salah. So I think he will start Walker.
That's true. That's true. He could. He could. He should. I think he should start him as well. But I'm just saying, considering what he has been starting recently, he's been going with.
Yeah, he's been starting Stones because the way he likes to play, Stones joining in midfield, and it's probably been playing like lesser opposition. But Liverpool's games, Walker has always started. I think he's going to start Walker.
Now, I want to ask, guys, how do I do this formation now? Is Akonji, where am I going to put Stone? Right here.
a point to. I was making a point before we come.
Yeah, so it really depends on Pep's approach to the game. Whenever he's facing whenever Manchester City is facing pacey attackers, you would most likely have Akonji out on the right because he has more pace than John Stones. But if Pep is not worried about pacey attackers, because of the way they attack when they are on the ball, you would most likely have John Stones on the right side while you have Akonji paired with Ruben Diaz and then Nathan Ake on the left-hand side. So it really just depends on Pep's approach to this Liverpool game. If Pep feels his team is good enough to win comfortably, I think you have Kyle Walker starting instead of maybe John Stones. I think Akonji and Diaz have had a much better partnership. They played more games together throughout the season compared to Stones and Diaz. So it really depends. But I believe Pep should give respect to Liverpool. I believe Liverpool have a very deadly front three, if you ask me. Mohamed Salah,
Which one be deadly?
It's the
truth. Look at where they are. Number 6.
I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to Manchester City, when it comes to big games,
don't forget the 7-0.
Get the results out. Liverpool often know how
be careful, this man.
Yes, when it comes to big games, Liverpool.
We went from 7-0 to losing 1-0 at Bournemouth. So, and those same front three started against Bournemouth. So they can also get turned off as well. They can have their off days. So
I want to ask you guys about starting Grealish or Foden in this game.
No, Foden is not fit, but if it was fit, Grealish still starts.
Yeah,
I mean, for me, Grealish has improved massively. Honestly, I mean, he has really improved this season. The way he picks up the ball, drives our players, creates chances for Haaland and the rest of his players. Is always available on that left hand side. Hugging the width. So for me, it's a starter all day long. I think he has owned that spot now. You can see that when Pep brought Foden back into the games, he used him on the right hand side. He has pushed Foden back to the right hand side. Grealish is just on his own there now. I think he's owned that position and he's playing very well at the moment.
But look at your defense, Irate. Is this a right partnership? VVD and Gomez. Are you wary of
Gomez?
Konate?
Gomez should be thrown to the bin. Like Gomez should not be playing for our under 20.
He's a stripper now. The way he was doing
Gomez is a player now. Why should he not play? Why should he not play?
Was a player. I'm sure he'll be out.
Oh, he's what now?
Just be sold.
I exposed him now.
What about Henderson? You're comfortable in him playing this game?
Henderson has become, unfortunately, a retirement player while still playing. Play one game and is out for the other game. He can't play 2 straight games. So he should be playing. He should be playing this game. It's a big game, so I expect Henderson to come in. And it really shows on that right hand side. Henderson doesn't have the legs anymore. He can't even cover for Trent.
But in a nutshell, how do you think he can win this game? What approach do you think clubs should decide on this game? How can you win this game? Because I want Arsenal to win this
honestly
league.
if you ask me
Arsenal now.
If you ask me, we've always gone to
Okay, I want Arsenal now to win the league.
Sure, if you say so.
We've always gone to the
I don't believe you.
Actually, me and
All
Don,
right.
we agreed that Arsenal going to win the
Yeah,
league.
we had a meeting. We already had a meeting. So, Iris, go on. How do you think you guys can win this game? Go on.
I think at best, Liverpool. Anytime we've gone to the Etihad, we've always been an attacking team. We just don't know how to sit back for
Oh
some
my
reason.
goodness.
And
Yeah.
where our defense is and our midfield this season, it's not a good idea. I think we should just respect Pep and respect the fact that we have a wretched record at the Etihad, and just try to pick up counter attack, second balls, and just eat them on the break. We have fast players like Salah and Nunes that can do a good job. And for me, I think Nunes would fancy Stones more if Stones plays on that wing. I am instead of Walker, so that might be a place to look at how to hurt Man City. On the other side, for me, Ake has been their best defender this season.
Absolutely.
So
Great
would have
defender.
Ian Salah will have an interesting battle on you. In the middle, I don't see Gapo getting any joy between Diaz and Akonji, honestly. So I think for us, just defensively, we have to be very good. And I know Pep, and everyone already knows this. Just go to Liverpool's right hand side where Trent is.
In fact, I'm coming there. I'm
That
coming
is-
to this guy. Like, what
that is
do
one
you
way to
think?
hurt Liverpool. The easiest way. You don't need to stress yourself too much, honestly. So I'm sure they'll be targeting him. Anderson will have to try to do a job for him, which I don't think he has the legs to do anymore like he has in the past. And we know Salah. Any day he's off, he's totally off. He scoffs shots. He's just off. He doesn't do anything. So for me, I honestly, if you ask me, I would just say the best result we can get there. We need to give Man City that respect and try to hit them on the counter attack. But I think this match for me, if we get a draw, is a good point. And you keep talking about doing Arsenal a favor. Don't forget, Arsenal themselves are coming to Anfield next weekend. So
That's true.
they
That's
can also
good.
try to do themselves a favor as well. So it's three interesting games coming up. Man City, Chelsea, and Arsenal. I think Chelsea we can definitely deal with Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. It's a place where we've had a lot of joy in the past.
Prof, now you that they
Nah,
talk about too.
It's not serious. It's not
Oh,
serious.
you think so? Okay. We'll see. But yeah, for me, this game for me is the toughest amongst the three games we have coming up in the coming week. So we should just try to even if it's to get a point, just try to disrupt Man City's rhythm a little bit and get a point to try to make up for their top four race.
All right. I want to actually show how do we do this combined 11 because most of our viewers are looking at how
we can just mention the one or two players, Liverpool players that entered the Man City 11 instead of just maybe one or two.
Oh, you mean like this? Let's start from the goalkeeper.
All Man City's players there and just
don't worry, they run mount now. Wednesday we are coming to Stamford Bridge. No, come and destroy the bridge.
Don't use the ass for us. So use the ass for us now. Don't use that way.
So let's talk about the goalkeeper right now. Who do you think should stand? Who do you go for?
Yeah, that's him without a shadow of doubt.
Sheye, who do you think we should go for? The goalkeeper. The two
Alisson for me. Easy call.
Okay, this is. Are you joking?
I think
even Iris knows.
Iris knows Alisson.
One thing we can say is that Alisson has not been bad this season, but he has been exposed too many times, and there's only so much your goalkeeper can do. So for me, for this season, I'll go with Ederson.
Oh,
Ederson
straight up. Now let's go.
No, for me, I'll go for Alisson. If you look at both goalkeepers,
why?
Forget the form Liverpool are in. If you look at both of them as being a goalkeeper, I think Alisson is better in terms of saves, in terms of what he does within his 6-yard box. Forget form. Any day, anytime, 3 times on a Sunday, between these two, I'll go for Alisson. That's why you see in the Brazilian national team. I know it's the preference of the Brazilian national coach that starts Alisson over Henderson, but I will go for Alisson over Ederson. Yeah.
Okay, I will still come back to you. I know you are going to choose the gear. Oh, sorry.
The gear for
no.
No,
All right, let's do.
talking about Didier, you know, for me, for the past 10 years, Didier is the best goalkeeper in EPL.
Oh,
For me,
I don't know. I'm telling you.
I was on the podcast, music, important. I was on ever for the last 10 years. I picked Didier. For me, Didier, watching Didier as investment in Manchester United, without Didier, I don't know what Manchester United would be. That's just, I just want to put down the table.
All right, let's talk about the back four. Who should we go for? Irate, can you hear me?
For the back position.
Yeah.
For the back four, I would go with Walker. I would go with Akanji and Konate, and I'll go with Ake as left back.
Wow. Prof, do you agree with that? Your back four.
Konate, they lose Ruben Diaz for me for Konate. So for me it's a City back four, back five.
What about Van Dijk?
Man City has considered just 25 goals. Only Nick Pope has a better clean sheet than Ederson. So for me it's a no-brainer. And then the back four as well. Ake has been very solid. Ruben Diaz has been solid as usual. Akanji has stayed a lot this season. And the right back, just make your pick. So for me, it's a back five, man.
Wow.
I think why for me I'm not having Diaz there is Diaz just came back from injury more recently. He's not been as constant as Akanji or Ake. So even Stones, that's why if you go by what these guys have done over the years or the kind of reputation they have, Diaz is, outstanding. Is Man City's best centre back, but has it been their best centre back this season? I don't think so. I think Ake and Akanji are have actually kept them, in games, kept clean sheets and all of that. So that's why. And for me, and a lot of people will say, "Oh, Konate, Liverpool's form." I think without Konate in the back line, honestly, this season, if we are going to the team and there's no Konate.
That Konate has been in and out as well. If you look at it, I think Diaz maybe has played more games than him, just maybe. So I don't think
maybe.
Yes.
But just the fact that how important Konate is right now to Liverpool, maybe that's why because if there's no Konate going into a Liverpool game, honestly, it's going to be shambolic. So. But we can either pick Diaz or Konate. Either one is fine. But like you said, right back, you can pick anybody you want. You can even pick me for the right back.
Calm down.
Sorry, for me, before you move on, Don, before you move on to the midfield area, I feel Robertson makes that back four for me. Robertson makes that back. Yeah. The left full back.
Ake.
I don't
think Ake is massive this season.
And yeah, you're saying this season, but if we look spell, come on, Ake was improvised in that position. I think towards the end of last season, if I'm not mistaken. Cancelo was in the Man City team. Cancelo will be starting ahead of Ake. Ake was even down the pecking order. It was because Cancelo lost out with Pep, I guess. That was what gave Ake a sniff of that position. So if we're looking at this season, yes, Ake has been better than Robertson. But holistically, Robertson will get into that back four for me as the only Liverpool player.
All right, moving to the midfield. I don't think we need to discuss about it. Okay, I think Man City.
Yeah, it's midfield is easy. It's an easy pick, honestly.
Yeah, 100%. I'm glad I heard that from Irit. One of the things I love about Irit is extremely realistic. So 100% is Manchester City.
Done. Move on.
Yes. We move.
Irit for the first time. We move for the first time. Irit. I can't believe it. Oh my goodness. All right, the front three.
I would pick Haaland, Salah, Gakpo.
Like ye, Gakpo.
Gallant
Like,
Salah.
Even Capo won't pick himself.
Gakpo who? Gakpo who?
This one, they are Gakpo ko Makponi, not only Gakpo. You know Makpo for Ibadan. They are
I
let me
think
for you.
Salah will be the only Liverpool. Salah, Haaland, Mahrez for me. Salah, Haaland, Mahrez.
No, it has to be Grealish, in my opinion, please. Grealish.
For me, it's Grealish,
Grealish,
Haaland,
where?
and Grealish has to be there.
For me,
Alan, Grealish, and Salah.
Nunes,
Yes, I
Haaland,
agree with you. Really.
Grealish has been
Grealish,
something.
Alan, and Salah.
Yeah.
Nunes.
I think it's only, I think for me the only Liverpool player that has just knocked into that level is Salah. Just made it to the level. If not, for me, none of their players. They've been very poor.
if we are
Just
looking
with
at
Chelsea,
very
both
contributions.
teams have been very, very poor this season. Chelsea and Liverpool. None of their players contributed and 11.
If we are looking at the contributions to the team, I don't think Grealish is anywhere near Nunes this season.
Exactly. Thank you, Irate.
I want to see the reason why Grealish should be ahead.
Argument in here.
Nunes is against Haaland now, right? It's not Nunes versus
Well,
Haaland.
Nunes can play on. He can also play on Grealish wing. He has played there so many times this season, and he has
I
had.
mean, as a
goals
winger,
and-
you choose Nunes over this as an out-and-out winger. I don't think so. Grealish for me is for me. I would choose Grealish.
For me, Grealish, while he does a lot of hugging the touchline, all of this, honestly, if not that they have Haaland, they will be missing Sterling right now. Honestly, Grealish does not give enough numbers. He can do a lot of dribbling, moving around, falling up and down, and all. I think he has 3 goals.
Exactly.
That is not enough for a player playing for Man City. 3 goals, 2 assists. No.
But why do you think a genius like Pep doesn't joke with him this season? Have you noticed? Pep
He doesn't have a proper replacement. Who else can play that?
No, I think the thing about Grealish is the fact that he aids the team's ball retention. I think that's one of the things
That's the problem.
that Pep values in his players. And Grealish tends to he knows how to hold on to possession and then help the team to retain the ball. So that helps the attacking play.
Yeah.
All right, let's quickly do this before we wrap up the show. Your score prediction: Man City versus Liverpool. Irate, I'm going to start with you. What's your score prediction on that game?
I would say 2-1 Man City.
2-1 Man City. What about Arsenal versus Leeds? Irate.
Arsenal Leeds. I'm going with 4-0. Arsenal to win 4-0.
Irate is a pro Arsenal.
It's not a matter of Arsenal, man. I mean, I don't see Leeds, especially with this guy out.
Oh my God.
I don't see any
God
performing at Emirates. I don't see it.
All right, Irate. If I ask you for all this score prediction, I'm going to sign you off from there. So get ready. Now the next game, Bournemouth Fulham. What's your score prediction, Irate? Go for it.
Fulham are missing big players.
Yeah.
So I think Bournemouth at home, they are fighting for their lives. I'm saying a draw. 2-2 draw.
A draw. 2-2. And also, what about Brighton Brentford?
Brighton, but 2 teams banging form. Brighton playing at home. Brentford, they also have a lot of good things going for them this season. I'll just go with Brighton. I'll head to Brighton. 1-0 victory for Brighton.
1-0 victory. Moving on to Crystal Palace. What do you think?
I don't think Crystal Palace will be getting better anytime soon. Roy Hodgson is a defensive-minded coach. I'm not a big fan of him. I think Brendan Rodgers' side would win this game. So I go with Leicester to win 2-0.
2-0. What about Wolves? Don't go yet. Irate, talk to me. What about Wolves?
Forest. Battle of relegation teams. Nottingham Forest are very strong at home. Wolves have improved
very
since Lopetegui came in. They've also had some crazy officiating decisions against them.
Draw in that game.
But I think Nottingham Forest, I see a draw, 1-1 draw for me in that game.
Me too. All right, moving on to that Eleregbe club. I'm talking about Blues. Stars Blues.
500 BG club.
500 BG.
I think.
Oh my goodness, what's your score prediction?
Good evening will be turning up in this game, unfortunately.
I tell you.
I think it's going to be a draw. I'm going for
a
2-2
draw. A 2-2 draw. What about West Ham and Southampton?
West Ham, Southampton. David Moyes needs points. David Moyes needs points. He's under pressure, and Southampton are also under pressure. But I think there's more pressure on David Moyes to deliver. I think
All
at
right.
home they should be strong enough to get 3 points. I see a 2-0 victory over Southampton.
All right, straight up to the last game. I'm talking about Newcastle versus the best club in EPL. I'm talking about Manchester United. What do you go for?
To be honest, Newcastle they are very strong at home. They've considered
I know.
in the Premier League this season. And Man United, your Casemiro is out, which is for me is like having 3 players out, in my opinion. So I think
same Sabitzer is out as well.
Yeah, I think Sabitzer is out, and if your coach is not
Fred
playing
and McTominay,
if Rashford doesn't play, I don't see where the goals is coming. The goals are coming from. So it's a big problem right now. With how it stands, Newcastle they have 2 games ahead of Tottenham. Win those games, they are back into the top 4 spot. I think since they lost the final, they are going to give the top 4 their all until the end of the season. So it's a big game for them. Their players back, Grimares back, Isak scoring goals, replacing Wilson. I think Newcastle will win this game for me, 1-0.
God forbid! God forbid! I rebuke it. I rebuke it. All right, Ade, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm going to sign you out. Thank you so much. See you next week on Monday.
Have a
All
great
right, bye
weekend,
for now.
everyone.
All right, what am I going to sign off? Is Prof. Prof, talk to me. Starting from the game,
Yeah,
Manchester City
I'll
versus Liverpool.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead. I'll just run it quickly. For me, Man
All right.
City will get the better of Liverpool at the end. It'll be too much for them 3-1. Arsenal will destroy Leeds 3-0. Bournemouth, Fulham, I'm seeing a draw in that one. Brighton to win that game. They're very strong at home. Crystal Palace, Leicester, the manager bounce Roy Hodgson is going to make the defense very, very tight. I think they might get a result against Leicester. Let's say a draw. Nottingham Forest, Wolves, another draw. Also to beat Aston Villa 2-1.
Really? All right.
Yeah, West Ham, Southampton. West Ham win. And then Newcastle, Man United, Newcastle 1-0, like I would say.
God forbid! It will never come to pass. Forget about it. All right, on that note, Prof, thanks so much for coming on the show. One love, bro. All right, Ope Adebari, over to you. Run it. Score prediction time.
All right, so I'm going to start from bottom to top. Newcastle, Man United, I'm predicting a 3-2 victory. I believe Newcastle will take revenge against the Red
Devils. No way.
West Ham versus Southampton. This is a very tricky fixture. It's going to be feisty. And I think both teams will be desperate for a victory. And I don't see either one edging themselves out. So I think that would end 2-2. Chelsea versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa has been in good form. Chelsea has been inconsistent. They've been trying to get back into good form. It's at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oli Watkins is in good form. Emi Buendia is in good form.
Yeah.
But I think I need to give it to Chelsea because it's a game at Stamford Bridge.
Okay.
So,
all right. Move on.
Let's Chelsea.
Go.
Nottingham Forest, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Victory for Nottingham Forest, 1-0. Crystal Palace, Leicester City. I believe in the bounce back of a new manager. Roy Hodgson is back at the helm. I believe Crystal Palace will defeat Leicester City. Brighton, Brentford, very tough fixture. I'll give the game to Brighton. Because at the
Score prediction.
Score prediction for Brighton, Brentford, 3-2.
3-2. All right.
Score prediction for Crystal Palace, Leicester, 1-0.
1-0. Okay.
Bournemouth, Fulham. Fulham will get the victory. Fulham will definitely get the victory away at Bournemouth.
Let me help you say the Arsenal versus Leeds. Let me help you. Arsenal versus Leeds. 1-0 to Leeds. Move on to the next one.
No, I go with Iris. I go with Iris with his prediction. 4-0. Arsenal 4, Leeds United 0. And Manchester City versus Liverpool.
I tell you, massive.
3-2 to Manchester City. Manchester City with the victory.
All right, bro. I thank you so much for this Friday coming up on the show all the way from United Kingdom. One love, bro.
Always a pleasure. Have a good weekend, everyone.
All right, bye for now. Shaye, you are there right now. Shaye, talk to me. Your score prediction. Run it.
Yeah. Man City to beat Liverpool 2-1. Arsenal to thrash Leeds 5-1.
Arsenal losing. Yeah.
All right. 5-1 to Arsenal. Bournemouth, Fulham, I think it's going to be a draw, 1-0. Brentford, I'm backing them to beat Brighton 2-1. Palace Leicester, that should end 1-1. Nottingham Forest Wolves. Nottingham Forest to beat Wolves 2-1. Chelsea Villa. Aston Villa to win 3-1. West Ham Southampton. That should be a 2-2 draw. And then Newcastle to beat Man U 3-1.
Oh my goodness, everybody's spending me. I don't like this. Stop it, Shaye. All right, thank you so much, Shaye. One love, bro. I appreciate it. All right, Ace, talk to me. Run this thing. Run it.
See, I'm
competition.
Yes.
You're breaking,
Also,
bro.
All
right, I can hear you now.
Yeah. I'm just going to follow Shaye's prediction, the way he has predicted it one after the other. So let me don't waste time. Yes.
All right. You're wicked. You are wicked. All right, bro. Thank you so much, Ace. On to the next one. The last man standing. The last man standing himself. Talk to me. What do you think going into this? Score prediction, Robbie. Go for it.
Okay. Let me start from the bottom right to the top. So I will go with United to play out the draw with Newcastle. So I'll pick out a 2-2 draw in that encounter. For West Ham against Nottingham Forest, I will go with West Ham to win 2-1. And of course, taking a look at Chelsea against Aston Villa, I think it's going to end in a draw. So I'll go with a 1-1 draw between Chelsea and Aston Villa. For Nottingham Forest against Wolves, I'll go with Nottingham Forest to win 2-0. Leicester City. Crystal Palace against Leicester City. I think with Roy Hodgson back, I'm going to give Leicester. I'm going to give Crystal Palace a slim win, 2-1 win against Leicester City. You have Brighton against Brentford. I'm going with a draw in that game. I'm going to a 2-2 draw. And of course, looking at Arsenal against Leeds, I will go with 5-0 for Arsenal against Leeds. Then Manchester City against Liverpool, I'll go with 3-1 Manchester to win.
3-1 to Manchester to win. All right, Robbie. Thank you so much. Last man standing. One love, bro.
Thank you.
All right, viewers, smash the like on the video. Fantastic. Intercontinental Sport TV. This is how we roll. My score prediction goes thus. I'm going to start with Man City versus Liverpool. I think Man City is going to nick that. There's going to be a win, a must win for Man City. 1-0 for me. 1-0. Arsenal, I'm so sorry. That's going to be a draw. It's going to be 1-1 in that game. Clip this. 1-1 on that game. Next, on to the next one. Bournemouth versus Fulham. Let me tell you one thing. It's going to be a big win for Bournemouth with 2-1 in that game. I tell you, moving on to the Brighton versus Brentford. I'm telling you, it's going to be 1-1 in that game. It's going to be a massive game as well. Moving on to the Crystal Palace. Come on, tell me something. Crystal Palace versus Leicester City. It's going to be 0-0 for me. Click this again. Nottingham Forest welcoming Wolves. Wolves is going to nick this win. I tell you, it's going to be 2-1 in favor of Wolves. Moving on to the next one. Chelsea in the mud. I tell you, the 500 GB. They are in the mud right now. It's going to be a draw game for me. It's going to be 1-1 as usual. And on Sunday, West Ham welcoming Southampton. It's going to be a big win for West Ham. It's going to be 1-0. And let me tell you, down to the next one. I'm talking about Newcastle versus Manchester United. As a Manchester United fan, the Don is telling you guys, clip this. It's going to be a victory for Manchester United with 2-1. 2-1. No doubt about it. I tell you, that's what is scoring. Bruno is scoring in that game. On to the next one. I tell you guys, please smash the like on the video. Anytime you're watching this for the first time, I tell you, it's a place to be. And I tell you, I'm going to sign out with this. One love, people. Smash the like on the video. 1, share this content. 2, and also, you know what? Subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. So what are you waiting for? Join us in this community. We are building up something huge is coming. I tell you. Back again. EPL is back. On this note, people, see you on Monday. Well, the banter is coming up on Monday. Who's going to lose? Who's going to win? I tell you. On the snow, people, you don't exciting now. Forget about it. If you don't know it, forget about it. On this station, once again, when it rains, it falls heavily. Bye for now.